So this may sound pretty cliche. I think that crypto is going to be the next tech industry. How's it going, everybody? Let's get into today's topic. So I've been reading a lot about cryptocurrency lately, and it's really piqued my interest. I think that this could be a huge investment opportunity, but there's a lot of things that we need to understand about it before we just go jumping in. So I've been doing a lot of research lately and a lot of studying about crypto, and the more I learn about it, the more excited I get about it. And I want to share some of the things that I've learned because I think there's some important things that I've come across, but also I see this going pretty far in the future. So I want to share some of my thoughts and try to explain some of the things that I've learned. So let's start with a couple of the basics. You may be thinking to yourself, what is cryptocurrency? So a few different definitions that I found online basically say it's a digital form of currency that can be used for buying and selling of goods. With this definition, you may be thinking to yourself, why do I need another form of currency? We already have PayPal, we already have Venmo, we already have all these things that take money from our bank account digitally, and we can spend it digitally on Amazon, eBay, different places like that. So why do we need another form of currency? This is something that I thought to myself too. Why do I need another form of currency when the one that I'm using works just fine? And I'll get into some of the uses of the currency tokens or the exchange tokens in a little bit, but let's take a step back first. Let's first talk about what's behind crypto or all these different projects. And most of them are built on something called the blockchain technology, which means that they have all of these blocks of information that are chained together in a stream of data blocks. And so they call this the blockchain, and I feel like the blockchain that all of these crypto projects are built on are just as important as the actual tokens themselves. And that's where this stuff really starts to become exciting. So this may sound pretty cliche, but I think the future of cryptocurrency, or crypto, is very exciting. I think that crypto is going to be the next tech industry. I think the tech industry, the finance industry, and many other companies and industries that are built into both of those are going to start merging with the crypto industry and bring the crypto industry up to its level. So investing in certain crypto projects right now could be like investing in some of the early tech companies back when they were getting started. Now I know that sounds crazy, and that sounds like every single article you ever read about Motley Fool say, oh, this is going to be the next Amazon, like you bought it in 1999. But I really feel like some of these crypto projects have extremely high potential and can go really far in the future. So I'm pretty excited about learning about all of these. All right, so let me answer another question, and then I'm going to kind of backtrack and start talking more about the word cryptocurrency itself. So why are there so many different cryptos? Now, since this space is so new, there's a lot of different projects doing a lot of different things, but the main focus is there's many different crypto projects, and they're all trying to solve a specific problem, either in the finance industry, somewhere in the tech industry, in the data usage industry, with the internet, different things like that. So there's a lot of them because they're all trying to solve different problems, or there's many of them that are trying to solve the same problem in a better way. So just like we have Amazon and eBay, obviously everybody likes Amazon better, but they both started out doing the same thing. So there are multiple platforms doing the same thing, and each has its pros and cons. That's the same with the crypto projects. There are projects like Ethereum that are so versatile that they're used for a variety of reasons, and because they came in early, they are getting way ahead. And now there's other projects that have seen what Ethereum can do, but they've found flaws in Ethereum's system. So projects like Cardano are coming in and they're trying to do what Ethereum's doing, but they're trying to progress at a much slower rate to make sure that they perfect everything as much as they can along the way. So they're going to grow slower throughout time, but in the long term, their system is going to be hopefully exactly the way they want it to be, and they're going to take their time to make sure things get developed right. So that's why we see so many different projects within the crypto realm, because there's so many different projects that are either trying to tackle a different problem in the finance system, or they're trying to come at the same problem in a different way. Okay, so let's go back to the word cryptocurrency. Now let's kind of break it down. So I'm going to break down currency first. When you think of the word currency, what do you think of? Most likely you think of dollars, euros, any kind of currency that you can use to buy things. But if you look at the definition of the word currency, a currency is a means or a medium of exchange, so that you can trade, but you don't have to barter. You don't have to say, hey, I'll trade you this stack of bananas for some bread, It makes it easier because you can attach a value of this currency to your different objects and then just trade the currency instead of trading the items themselves. So when you look at all these different crypto projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, they all have a currency or an exchange token attached to them. And this token is separate from the team that's behind it, which this is why I think it makes it different from a stock. So you have the team behind Ethereum, and they're doing all these projects, making all of these updates, and adding all of this value to their brand, and their token, Ether, goes up in value as the Ethereum team makes their ecosystem more usable. Now more people are using it, and in order to use most of the things on their system, they have to use this Ether token. And so the more people that come in and use this Ether token and get involved in the Ethereum ecosystem, the more money it comes into it and the higher the value goes. So that's the currency form of crypto, is that each of these has a token that is used as a medium or a means of exchange. So now let's go to the crypto part of the word. In history, cryptography has been different types of secret or hidden passages or codes or things like that. Like if you've seen the Da Vinci Code, they use a lot of cryptography to figure out the different puzzles, to find different things like that. So cryptography is a way to make things secure and secret in a way. And the way that it's used in cryptocurrencies is they use it for security. They use it to make sure that you've got a unique identity, so that when there's a transaction that goes through, there's an address that can go from one user to the other, and it can either be made public or it can be held anonymous. But it's used, this is how crypto is used to make it secure, private, and to strengthen the network. All right, so some of the things that I really like about crypto, first of all, is it's a global system. This isn't just something that's available only in the United States, which is different from the stocks, because a lot of the stocks are US companies or companies from other parts of the world that trade on the US stock exchange. And this makes it difficult for a lot of people from different countries to try to get in, because it's all based on US, it's all based on US time, US dollars, all of this data, everything is based on things from the US. So that makes it difficult for people from around the world to get involved. The nice thing about crypto is it's set up to be global. So people from all different parts of the world can get involved in this crypto investing and use these cryptocurrencies to make exchanges. So that's the first thing that I really like, is that it's a global system and not just a US based or a Chinese based or something like that. It's not just based on one country, it's a global system. So another thing that I think is really cool is there are a lot of really smart people that are coming together in the crypto space, and they're using the internet, and they're using different problem solving skills, and they're using computers in order to solve inefficiencies in the financial system. So some cryptos aren't based on the financial system, and a lot of them are, and then there's other ones that are based in the insurance industry and different things like that, and they're all coming together to kind of bring all these different industries together and make everything more efficient, make everything faster, make everything safer and more secure. And so they're still in the very early phases of all of these different projects, but I think that there's a lot of room for these to grow, because they're using all of these smart ideas to progress towards the future. So one important thing to keep in mind when it comes to the future of crypto companies is that not all companies are designing their programs or projects to be used like a currency. They're not designed for you to go out and buy your Cheetos and go buy your snacks at the gas station or go buy your groceries with them. They're making different projects and coming up with different things to solve different problems that are in all aspects of our lives, not just money. But for example, there's a browser called Brave browser, and it's used for browsing the internet. But on the Brave browser, when you get ads, you can sign up for a rewards program so that when you spend your time watching ads, they'll pay you back in basic attention token, which is a crypto that they'll use to pay you for watching the ads. So now, by doing your normal things, watching YouTube videos, looking on Google for new shoes and different things like that, they'll send you these ads related to what you're looking at. And if you take time to look at the ads, then they'll pay you a little bit. And then the other cool thing is they've also teamed up with an exchange called Gemini, so that once you earn your basic attention token, you can transfer it over to Gemini and earn interest on the free money that you're already earning. So that's pretty cool. Another one is called Audius. Now, Audius is a streaming platform that wants to be kind of like Spotify. And the difference is that the artists that make the music can directly upload their music onto Audius, and they don't have to go through the record companies. And the record companies always take a big cut of their profits in order to promote and help them put together their music and record it and all this stuff. But if the artists can do it on their own, record their own music, upload it to Audius, almost like uploading YouTube video, then as people use Audius and go and find their music on Audius, then when people spend time listening to their music or watching ads related to it, then the artist starts getting money from Audius in the form of their audio crypto token. And so this is another company that is not necessarily focusing on being used like Dogecoin to go and spend it on different things, but they're using their token to pay the people that are contributing to their project. And another cool thing about Audius is that TikTok just partnered with Audius, and so now you could be watching your cooking videos on TikTok like I do, and as you're going through these different videos about really good tacos and stuff like that, there could be one that pops up that says, hey, check out this guy on Audius. So you can go straight from TikTok to Audius, watch their video, or learn about their music, and it might be something you really like, but also now you're contributing to the artist that made this song or made this music video rather than the record company. So that's another cool project. So another cool project that I really like is called the Cyrus Foundation. This is one company out of a few that I've heard of that is working on a project like this. And what they're doing is they're making a way so that all of your data that's on the internet can be kept for you. And by using their router that they're in the process of making, all of your data can stop at the walls of your house. So then when companies want to use your data to advertise, you can sell them your data because Cyrus is making it so you can keep your data, and you can be the one profiting from your data rather than Facebook just taking your data and giving you ads based on the data that they're taking from you. So now you will have the choice on who you want to give your data to, and you're going to be able to sell it to them. And I imagine that Cyrus will pay you back in their Cyrus token by selling your data in order to get ads from these big tech companies. So that's another cool project that they're working on that isn't necessarily related to money, but is solving a problem that we're all concerned about, which is the protection of our data. Alright, so as a random example, I'm going to try to tie in Chuck E. Cheese to all this. So normally when you would go to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, you'd go in and you'd exchange your money for these Chuck E. Cheese tokens. And with the tokens you could play the games and do all the stuff like that. And as you win the games, you get all these tickets. And these tickets, you can go and buy these prizes, but usually the tickets don't have as much value. So now imagine you go into Chuck E. Cheese, you exchange your money for the tokens, and you start playing all these games, playing all these projects, doing all these different things, but instead of getting tickets, you get paid back in tokens. And then when you get all your tokens and you're ready to leave, you go back up to the counter and you cash out your tokens and you get more money than you walked in with. So now think of this with all these crypto projects. Say that you go in with the crypto project and you put money in to get the token, and then you start interacting with the project. You start working on it, you start playing games, doing whatever the project allows you to do. And as you spend time and do more things in the project, you start getting and earning more of these tokens. And when you're ready to leave, you can take these tokens and you can cash out. Or you can hang on to them, and as the project gets bigger and bigger and more popular, or it becomes more valuable as the team adds more value to the project, the token will grow in value because more people want to use it, spend it, or use it for the project. And so they're going to be buying into it to get more of it. And so that's how a lot of these cryptos are working. As the projects gain value, the token also goes up in value because more people want to use it, which brings more value to the token. So that's kind of an odd way to think about it, but maybe it'll help you kind of understand the purpose of these different tokens. They're not all used to be designed to replace the dollar when you're going to buy groceries or buy gas. A lot of them have different purposes, and this exchange token is just a medium of exchange, so that's why it's known as a currency. Also, if you're interested in signing up for the Brave browser to get the rewards and get paid back in basic attention token, then I'll leave a link in the description so that you can sign up for that. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can go to Brave's website yourself and you can figure out how to install the browser and set up the rewards wallet and different things like that and get everything taken care of. But if you don't want to, I'll put a link in the description to make it a little bit easier. So going along these same lines, having all these crypto projects come out is giving people more choice of where they want to put their money and where they want to keep their investments and the different projects they want to support and use. And the people in the world right now that have the financial control don't like that. The big banks, the governments, different things like that, a lot of them are not happy with this crypto system because in a way it's taking power away from them. But crypto is starting to grow so big that they're realizing that they can't shut it down, so they might as well find ways to join in on it and make it so that they can get those returns and invest in this as well, because it's gone so far that it's hard for them to shut it down. So countries like China are trying to ban Bitcoin and get rid of things like that, and that's just pushing the innovation out of their country and into other countries. So now there's a lot more people mining Bitcoin in North America and the United States and other parts of Europe and Asia. And so this is something that has been beneficial for other countries because the innovation is coming in. So if other countries were to copy what China does and they try to get rid of Bitcoin, try to get rid of crypto in their country, they're just going to make it so that they're losing out on the innovation and all of the technological advances that are coming that could happen in their country and bring wealth to their country through these advances. There are other countries like El Salvador and I think Ukraine. El Salvador has made Bitcoin a legal tender or a usable currency in their country. And right now the Bitcoin is really high in value. It's been really good for them. And they're going to have to keep a certain mindset on it to understand the use of Bitcoin even when it goes down in value. But this is a good move because they're using different parts of their country to mine Bitcoin, which brings revenue to their government and to their country. And now that they're accepting Bitcoin, now that tourists come in and they spend their Bitcoin, it's going to help the citizens gain value and become wealthier from the assets and the crypto assets that they're bringing in. So these governments are smart to adopt and to accept these crypto projects into their country because they know of what the future can hold for them. But now that brings me to another topic that we really need to talk about. Over the past 12 years that Bitcoin has been around, Bitcoin has been going in 4-year cycles. It started out and it peaked and then it crashed. Historically, it's been 85 to 90%, and that's a huge drop. For most people, that's too much for them to handle. So you have to look at how Bitcoin acts and you have to understand how it works before you get invested in it. So these 4-year cycles have been fairly predictable, and they've been very similar throughout the past. In 2013, it peaked and then it crashed. In 2017, it peaked and then it crashed. Again, now in 2021, we're getting really close to a peak. So there's a divided community in the crypto space right now. Some are saying, oh, we think this cycle is going to keep going into next year, and Bitcoin's going to peak out somewhere 300, 400,000. And then there's other people saying, no, we think it's going to follow the 4-year cycles, which means it's going to end before the end of this year. And they're saying that it's probably going to get around $100,000. So we're going to have to see if this is going to maintain this 4-year cycle. But personally, looking at the history, I think it is going to follow this 4-year cycle, and I think it's going to peak out near the end of the year. It could go into January possibly, but then I think it's going to crash 90% like it normally does. Now, if that's the case, you would think that right now is probably the worst time to get into it. And I would have to agree depending on how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it for a long-term perspective, which is probably 5, 10, 15 years, then it's okay to get in right now, which most of the big companies that are getting into it right now have that outlook. So you see companies like MicroStrategy, you see companies like the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, you see companies like Tesla, you see companies like PayPal and Twitter. They're all getting into this, and you would think, okay, right now is probably the worst time to get into it, but for them, they have a long-term perspective, a long-term outlook, so it makes sense for them to get into this right now as a long-term investment. Now, as an individual, if you're getting into it right now, most likely you want to make money. And if that's the case, then you need to look at this like a trade. You're getting in at a certain price, you want it to go higher, and you don't know when it's going to peak out. But if you're getting into it right now, it's definitely higher than it has been in the past, and there's a good possibility that it could go down again. So you want to be ready to get in and get out as soon as you need to, and get the maximum amount of value you can from that trade. If you're getting in right now to invest, then you should only put in money that you're not afraid to lose, money that you can live without for 4 to 5 years, because if you put in money now and then it crashes, then you're either going to lose value unless you wait for it to come back up. So that's something to keep in mind, that this Bitcoin cycle is nearly over unless things change. And if you're wanting to invest in Bitcoin right now, then you should either be ready to get out over the next couple months, or you should be willing to hold it and expect it to lose nearly all of its value for the next few years. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about investing in cryptocurrencies right now. Now let me say, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just explaining my own thoughts, and this should be taken for educational and entertainment purposes only. So over the past, at the end of the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin, it's typically ended in November or December. So I'm thinking that this year is probably going to be pretty similar. It's probably going to end in November or December. And then last time in 2017, Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins, or the other tokens, went into January of 2018. So they could go a month past when Bitcoin peaks and starts to come back down. So I'm looking at this very short term. I'm ready to pull out almost all, if not all, of my investments in crypto when I think they get close to a peak. I'll probably find a certain price that I'm comfortable with, and when it hits that certain price, I'll start selling it little by little and dollar cost average out of all of my different crypto investments, so that I can get the best gains on my money without losing it when it goes back into this bear market that they're talking about. But also another thing to keep in mind is if the bear market does hit next year, then waiting for it to get close to a bottom and buying in is going to be an extremely good opportunity. But also, all these people that are supporting it, speaking so good about it right now, if it goes into a bear market, they're going to say, I knew this was a terrible asset. I knew this was a terrible investment. I knew I was going to lose all this money. All of the favorable comments and favorable estimates and a good mood and everybody's happy about crypto right now, that could completely reverse. Everybody could say, I knew Bitcoin was a scam. I knew it was a failure. I knew this was all terrible. And if they say that, you have to look at it and say, okay, why did this fall? Is this part of the normal plan? Is this part of what usually happens? If so, it's fallen and it's going to go up again in 4 years. This will be a great opportunity for me to get in when it's very low and 10x, 100x my money. And as crazy as that sounds, it's possible because it's what's happened in the past. So keep an eye out for this. If the bear market does come, just know that you thought it was coming. You thought it was going to be here. And now all of a sudden the whole world seems like it's turning against crypto because they either didn't know this was going to happen, or they're just trying to talk it down so that they can push the price down lower and buy up more and become even more rich. So keep this in mind as things are going. We're really just going to have to see what happens and how this shapes up to be. But either way, I still think this is going to be an excellent opportunity to make a lot of money. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I think it's getting about time to wrap this video up. This video's gone a lot longer than I was expecting. I didn't realize that I had so much to say about cryptocurrency. I'm going to be making more videos about cryptocurrency, but don't worry, I'm not turning into a crypto-only channel. I know that my last 2 videos have been crypto videos, but Remember, this channel is all about making money in all forms, in all assets, in all ways, in all side hustles, different things like that. So anything related to making money, I want to talk about in this channel, because I want all of us to learn together. I want all of us to grow together, and I want all of us to find the best ways to make money, to get out of our struggling financial circumstances, and to increase the quality of our lives. Because I know money doesn't buy happiness, but money does buy freedom. Money does buy fun things. Money can be spent on experiences. Money can take you to travel across the world. And doing all those things with your friends and family and your loved ones, that brings happiness. So having money can bless your life incredibly. It's not the purpose of life, but if you're able to thrive instead of only survive in life, you can have a much higher quality of life. So I'll keep making other videos about making money, but I am going to make a lot of videos about crypto, because the more I learn about it, the more opportunity I see and the more excited I get. And I want to share this with all of you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.